Coming up at 4:30, the presidential primaries have been decided for both parties, but how do voters feel? A TikTok ban bill is heading to the Senate. What does all this mean for users? And UCO baseball played at home yesterday. Mark Lowe will have a full breakdown of the game. Finally, how does your furry friend impact the areas of your brain? All this and more happening right now on UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Hello, I'm Perla Tovar.
And I'm Emma Birch. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
We now have breaking news from the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office. This afternoon, we received an update on Nex Benedict's case as their death is now being ruled as suicide.
The high school teen from Owasso High School died on February 8th, one day after an altercation at school with a group of girls.
The latest update from the Medical Examiner's report reveals that Benedict's cause of death was determined by an overdose, unrelated to the physical altercation at the school.
Page 1 of the report states that Benedict's death was caused by an overdose of Benadryl and Prozac.
The full Medical Examiner's report is set to be released on March 27th, and we will have a full updated story as it develops.
And in national news, history is being made in the White House today as President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump go head-to-head once again for their presidential primaries. Neither Biden, the Democratic leader, or Trump, the Republican leader, faced opposition during the primary race. To fashion each man one from each state pushed their claim to their party's nomination. And we aren't even halfway through the primary calendar. But many voters do not want them as their candidates, as Biden, who is 81, is already the oldest president in U.S. history, and Trump, who is facing decades in prison, making the road ahead for both nominees a long and tough one. The now former and president are competing for the White House, as this is the second time in U.S. history that presidents are rematching since 1912.
Former President Donald Trump has had some charges dropped against him regarding the Georgia 2020 election interference case, but he is still facing 10 more charges involving racketeering. Fulton County's Supervisor Court Judge Scott McAfee dropped 6 charges against the former president involving soliciting public officers to influence the 2020 election. However, McAfee ruled that prosecutors could pursue a new indictment to replace the dropped charges within 6 months. Trump's attorney Steve Sato said that the prosecution failed to provide significant evidence in each charge and that the case should be fully dismissed. This is the first time charges have been dropped in any of Trump's previous criminal cases.
And now looking back here, it has been so nice outside today. It's a little windy, but very nice.
I'm very much enjoying the weather. It's so nice, but Destiny's going to give us our first look of weather.
Yes, like they said, it is a very nice day today. As we get closer to spring break, we can see that nicer, warmer spring weather start to come in and stick around. Today it's about 70 or 80 degrees outside, much warmer. It's pretty sunny outside as well. We can see that there aren't many clouds in the sky, but on top of that, it is very windy. The winds are blowing southwest about 23 miles per hour. And we do have those even higher gusts of winds that are up to 31 miles per hour. Humidity rate's about 38%, and then it does feel like it is 80 degrees outside. And then for those with allergies today, you might notice that if you have tree allergies, it is very, very high outside. The tree allergies are very high. Mold scores are pretty low. And then ragweed on top of that is also pretty low. As we move into tonight, though, we see the temperature is cooling down, though. It's still going to be 60 degrees, which is pretty light, nice, warm spring weather. And it is going to be windy on top of that. Wind still going south about 15 to 21 miles per hour. And humidity rate is about 23%. And then since it is going to be partly cloudy tonight, we will have some more clouds roll in as the night progresses. And that is going to bring in a chance of thunderstorms that we'll see tonight and early on tomorrow morning. And like I said, it's going to be about 20% chance of those storms rolling in. And that's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
If you guys have been paying attention, TikTok might be disappearing from app stores.
That's right. Our social media correspondent, Shanice Hopkins, is in studio with the latest. Shanice?
Thanks, guys. This morning, the House of Representatives just passed a bill that could ban TikTok from U.S. app stores with a majority lead 352 to 65. The bipartisan bill says that TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, must sell the app or it will be banned in the United States. Politicians on both sides of the aisle believe that the ban is a matter of national security because of the threat to users' privacy imposed by Chinese ownership of the app. However, this is still a point that has only been called theoretically possible by experts. House passage is just the first first step in the process, but President Biden said if the bill passes Congress, he'll sign it into law. Back on campus, I'll show you guys what students are saying about this news later in social media. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Shanice. Children in the UK will not be prescribed puberty blockers according to the National Health Service in England. NHS says that they have carefully considered evidence from a 2020 study that concluded that there is not enough evidence and support the safety or clinical effectiveness of puberty-suppressing hormones to make the treatment routinely available. According to NHS policy, treatment for children and young adults focuses on mental and social support, and hormone blockers can still be used in adult patients. Puberty blockers can still be used by patients already on treatment plan, and clinical and private clinics can still prescribe the hormone blockers. And coming up after the break, hopefully Destiny has some really good news about this weather. It's been so nice already, and since spring break is next, I hope it stays the same.
Do you have any spring break plans?
I do, but after the break, I hope Destiny will have more for Oklahoma after the break.
Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit. I got that.
All right.
When hauling anything, ensure it's secure. Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Welcome back, everyone. I am here to give you your full weather forecast. As we look at the current conditions across the state, we can see it is a nice warm spring day statewide. Up in Guymon, it's a little cooler, about 73 degrees, but as we look at this part of the state, we see a lot of high 70s and low 80s. 81 in Woodward, 84 in Altus and Lawton, some of the warmer parts of the state. And then we see central Oklahoma and the Edmond area is about 81 degrees currently. And as we move to the other side of the state, we can still see a lot of those 70s, 79 in Tulsa, 77 in McAllister, and then up in Miami, it is about 81 degrees. As we move into night, though, the temperatures will go down a little. We see Guymon is the coldest part, about 38 degrees. Woodward 43, but as we move across the state, temperatures start to rise up a little. We can see that in central Oklahoma is about 61 degrees for our lowest temperatures tonight. And as we look at Lawton, 57, 47 up in Altus. We see a lot of 60s, 40s, even like I said, some 30s up in Guymon, 64 in Tulsa, another warmer part of the state, Tulsa, McAllister, and Ardmore, all the 64, that warmer, cool spring late night weather, and then 61 up in Miami. And then as we move on, we can look at our 7-day forecast. We can see there is a mix of a ton of things coming in next week. So tomorrow there is a chance of some rain that is going to come in. It's going to come in later on tonight, about 20% chance of that. We might get some rain. We have been lacking about 78 degrees for our high. So it's going to be pretty warm. One of the warmest days we're seeing in this upcoming week, and we see 46 for our low. As we look at as the week goes on, though, the temperatures do start to cool down a little. We're still in that spring weather, but not that higher and higher temperature spring weather. We can see Friday's going to be a nice and sunny day, 62 degrees, 43 for our low. And then as the weekend starts and we get into the week of spring break, we can see a lot of 60s, but we see that sun is going away for a few days. We see Saturday and Sunday are both going to be those cloudier days. It's going to be partially sunny, 66 for our high on Saturday, 63 for our low on Sunday. But as we move on to the second part of the week, we can see that Monday that sun is coming back out, but that temperature is not going up. We see 57 for our high, 37 for our lows. We can see that we're starting to get around this time, we'll get back to that cooler nights in the high 30s. Tuesday, again, another sunny day, 66 for our high, 43 for our low. And then on Wednesday, it's going to start to warm up again. We're getting back into those low 70s, and the temperatures will progress as the week goes on. Wednesday's going to be a nice sunny day. I know that I'm excited to see these cooler temperatures for spring break. I know I'm going to be in Oklahoma, so I'll get to enjoy these spring temperatures. Emma, Perla, do you guys have any spring break plans? And if so, where are you guys going?
I'll be going to Florida in about 9 hours. Me and my friends are going to be taking a road trip, and we're actually going to leave tonight. So what about you?
I'm going to Las Vegas. It's my first time ever, and so far it says it's going to be like mid-80s the whole time I'm there, so I'm very excited about that. Short weather. Destiny, are you planning on doing anything while on spring break? I mean, even though it's kind of cooler compared to this week, it looks pretty nice still for spring break.
I'll probably try to get some time outside, but it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be nice weather, nice temperatures. But you guys are going to get those warmer temperatures up in Las Vegas and Florida, so that's going to be nice weather for you guys.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. Thank you, Destiny.
Coming up, find out which celebrities are going back and forth on X.
And Shanice Hopkins has student opinions on the TikTok ban. Stay with us.
Possibility to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the mass comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back. I'm Shanice Hopkins, and here's what's trending today. The U.S. Senate passed a bill this morning that would ban TikTok nationwide if its China-based owner, ByteDance, doesn't sell the company. Lawmakers argued the app with over 150 million American users is a threat to national security. We asked students regarding the possible ban and how they would feel if the app vanished.
I think if I woke up and TikTok was gone, I would be very sad. I think I spend like 95% of my time on TikTok, so I don't even know, like, what would I even need a phone for if TikTok was gone? Like, I don't get on Instagram like that, Snapchat. I'm on TikTok 25/8.
There are like people I watch and people I enjoy watching, and that is where I hear discourse about certain things, and like certain communities I'm in, a lot of it is very on TikTok, so I think removing that would just take away, you know, parts of things that I am involved in.
I think that'll take some time out of my phone, definitely lower my activity,
But I think it won't change much, considering that YouTube has started like mini videos, and like so has Instagram. So I don't think it'll change too much in that aspect.
I feel like, especially in our generation, we're social media savvy. We always find another solution. So I believe if TikTok's gone, we'll really just find another way. Like maybe Instagram will go up, or just like any social media. But there's always other options. It's kind of like how like Vine went obsolete, and we had Instagram, and then Instagram, TikTok.
It seems like students have mixed reactions. We'll keep you updated as this develops. Don Lemon says Elon Musk canceled his deal with X after a tense interview. Lemon says his partnership with Elon Musk went down in flames today, hours after the former CNN anchor held an interview with the billionaire for the debut episode of The Don Lemon Show. In a video posted on his Instagram page, Lemon took further aim at Musk. Here's the clip.
Everyone, Elon Musk is mad at me, and I just put out a statement about what happened between him, me, and the interview that he is apparently so upset about. But make no mistake about this. This is going to be my first episode of The Don Lemon Show this coming Monday, March 18th, so make sure you tune in. This does not change anything about the show except for my relationship with Elon and X, and there's a whole lot that went down, and I'm going to tell you about in the coming days. I know, though, that many of you were...
Elon took a dig back at Don Lemon, saying that his approach simply did not work and lacked authenticity. Despite the fallout, Lemon assures his show is still in the works and almost ready for viewing. Next, actress Olivia Munn announced she had a double mastectomy after her breast cancer diagnosis. Munn says she went from completely fine one day to waking up in a hospital bed after a 10-hour surgery the next. The actress posted her health announcement on her Instagram page and urged other women to have their lifetime risk calculated by their doctor. After visiting her doctor, her biopsy revealed she had an aggressively fast-moving cancer. She's hoping her story will help other women fighting disease. Finally, Drake Bell speaks out on the alleged sexual abuse he faced from Nickelodeon acting coach Brian Peck in an upcoming documentary. Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV will air March 17th and 18th and will dive into both the physical and alleged emotional abuse from Dan Schneider and Brian Peck. Here's a snippet from the trailer.
To hear that Brian Peck was a sexual predator, it made me wonder immediately about who was being hurt.
It was a child actor.
On one of our shows.
Yes.
In 2003, Peck was arrested on the charge of lewd acts with a child, and it was not until this year Josh Peck revealed that he was the victim in this case. And that's what was trending today. Back to Emma and Perla at the desk.
Thanks, Shanice. Coming up in sports, softball is climbing in the polls once again.
And the NFL New Year just passed. Mark Lowe has all of the action from around the league and sports after the break.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. Now that the weather is finally starting to feel better, it's a great time to get outside. And over on the green is where we find our women's golf team, who just wrapped up a trip to the Sunshine State. The Lady Broncos finished 13th at the Emerald Coast Collegiate Tournament. It wasn't a great shooting event for the Broncos, as head coach Michael Bond says, quote, "It was a tough course and we didn't play our best, and our finish really reflects that," end quote. The Lady Broncos finished with a total team score of 935, 83 strokes behind first place. They have a break before their next tournament after spring break. Now over to the Diamond. Baseball was back in action yesterday against in-state rival Northeastern at home. It was a beautiful but windy afternoon yesterday in Edmond, but that didn't slow the Broncos down one bit. The Bats started off hot with a pair of doubles and a single in the first to go up 3-0 after one. The runs kept coming, and by the end of the fourth, our Broncos were up 6-0 over the Riverhawks. Northeastern got on the board in the fifth, but UCO returned the blow, getting one more across headed into the sixth. The seventh inning saw the Broncos pound two more in to go up 9-0, and Northeastern tried a little bit of a comeback in the last few minutes of the ninth, getting three across home plate, but it just was not meant to be, as the Broncos take the midweek matchup 9-4. The Broncos win yesterday moves them to 19-5 on the season and moves them up to fourth place in the MIAA, 2 games behind third place. They have a chance to change that this weekend when Fort Hays State Tigers come to town. The Tigers are 1 game behind the Broncos in the MIAA and are looking to play spoiler this weekend. The series starts on Friday with the first pitch at 5 p.m. over at the Wendell Simmons Field. Over to the other dugout now. Our softball team is on a 9-game win streak, and that has them climbing in this week's edition of the rankings. The Lady Broncos have climbed 1 spot in this week's edition of the NFCA Coaches Poll. The Drury Classic sweep and weekend sweep of conference opponents Washburn and Emporia State contributed to the move up. Another MIAA member came in at number 13 in Pittsburgh State, joining UCO and Rogers State as the only conference members to be ranked. UCO has a chance to move up again when they make a road trip up to Pittsburgh, Kansas to take place in the MIAA NSIC crossover. The matchups between the two conferences will see the Broncos playing Augustana, St. Cloud State, and Winona State. First pitch for the 3 doubleheaders is set for Friday at 10 a.m. against Augustana. Now over to the NFL. The new league year started on Monday, and it has been a hectic few days in the world of free agency. Since Monday, over $2.4 billion have been spent on free agents. And while trades and signings are still happening hourly, I'll just touch on some of the headline names that have found new homes. Starting off with Kirk Cousins, the 35-year-old quarterback is given it one more shot this time in the form of the Atlanta Falcons. Keeping the theme in the NFC, the Giants running back Saquon Barkley found a new home in the already stacked Philadelphia Eagles offense. You definitely want to keep an eye on that one. Raiders running back Josh Jacobs is leaving Las Vegas for cooler temperatures in Green Bay, taking the lead back position there. And finally, the most anticipated free agent of the season, Derrick Henry, is staying in conference, headed to the Baltimore Ravens to join an incredible offense alongside Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews. There are, of course, dozens of other signings like Tony Pollard, Mike Gesicki, and Christian Wilkins, and we can expect even more as the NFL draft quickly approaches. Finally tonight, we move over to the basketball court, where the first in the West Thunder hosted the Pacers last night, and it was a little bit of a struggle to get going. The Thunder were missing a key piece to the puzzle in Jalen Williams and subbed in Gordon Hayward to join the starting 5. The Pacers got hot early, going up 11-2 early on over the Thunder, but a rally back from SGA and Lou Dort brought it to within 7 early on in the second. The Pacers found their spark again and got 36 in the second quarter to go up 58-46 headed into the half. In an incredibly high-scoring third quarter, the Pacers dropped yet another 36, but the Thunder were not missing any shots, and they put up 41 to tie it late in the third. But the Thunder got colder in the fourth while the Pacers kept the momentum. The Thunder led by 1 at a point, but the Pacers pulled away, taking the spark from the Thunder at home 121-111. SGA posted a casual 30 bomb with Lou, Chet, Giddey, and Cason Wallace all getting double-digit points. The Thunder have an explosive offense, and the Dallas Mavericks coming to town tomorrow night. The loss also moves the Thunder into a tie for first in the West with the Denver Nuggets, while the Minnesota Timberwolves move into a half game behind OKC. Needless to say, tomorrow night is a must-win. So Perla, Emma, the Thunder dropped a pretty big game to the Pacers. It's not really the end of the world, but it definitely doesn't help them. You think they can bounce back tomorrow?
I think so. I always think that once they lose, they'll win like 4 or 5 games straight, so I definitely think so.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, Mark. And coming up, are you guys still playing Wordle? You guys could find a prize for guessing the word on Friday.
And Destiny Pittman will have our last look at weather when we come back.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. If you think playing with dogs or looking at their adorable videos on social media helps you decompress, you might be onto something. A small study published Wednesday found that interacting with dogs might strengthen the brainwaves associated with rest and relaxation. The study published in journal PLOS One involved 30 healthy people with an average of the age of 28 years old. They engage in multiple activities with a dog like playing, feeding, grooming, hugging, and walking. Study authors measured the brainwaves during each activity, then asked participants questions about their emotional state. The changes in the brainwaves indicated heightened attention, concentration, and relaxation. This is in addition to reduced stress, fatigue, and feelings of depression. The study did have some weaknesses like the low number of study participants and the fact the group was healthy, which meant they couldn't express or observe any improvements in medical conditions. It's a good bet that the canine participants enjoy taking part though. And I bet if you take your dog outside walking today, it is the perfect day to do so.
Yes, Destiny Pittman will have our last look at weather. Destiny?
Said it would be your dog a nice walk. Coming in, those storms are 7 p.m. We can see that there's a 90% chance of rain tomorrow or tonight, starting tonight, and it's going to carry on until early tomorrow morning. Around 7 a.m. it's going to be about 67 degrees, 20% chance of rain, but after that those storms will go away and the sun is coming back out. It is still going to be very windy tomorrow, much like it was today. 74 for our temperatures around noon. It's still going to be pretty sunny outside, and as we move into the night, it's still going to be that warm spring weather, 77 degrees. With it being clear outside. And then these are just some things you might want to keep in mind as you're going on throughout your week. Like I said, there is a chance of thunderstorms tonight. It'll carry on tonight until early tomorrow. High winds, and there are 6 days until spring. That's all for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
And the New York Times is rolling out the green, yellow, and white carpet to mark a major milestone. Friday is the 1000th Wordle puzzle. If you solve the popular word game, you can get a special treat. The first 1,000 people who answer to the 1,000th puzzle as a promo code will receive a 1-month free trial of Super Duolingo. Headspace is also offering a 60-day free trial with the answer as a discount code. Uber, Wilson, Reese's, Pickleball, and Joe's Pizza will also be offering promotions for those who solve the puzzle.
That sounds like so much fun.
Do you still play? Or are you going to give it a chance?
No, but my mom does, so I bet she's probably already practicing the word.
I know she's watching
Absolutely. Well, that is sadly all the time we have for today. I'm Emma Birch.
And I'm Carla Tovar. Thank you for watching this edition of UCentral News.